Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for checking back in with me. This is your boy Real from We Will Never Be Famous. And yesterday I went on a rant about UFC. Slightly about UFC. More or less about Miesha Tate and Tony Ferguson. A few things here and there. Nothing important. Today, I actually want to talk about something that I hold dear, true to my heart. Cartoons. Okay? And I like cartoons. I love cartoons. I'm not into anime, but usually when people say cartoons, they do specifically mean cartoons, and they're not actually talking about anime. But I love cartoons. And I was looking on YouTube, at all these different Pixar theories. I bet you didn't know Disney put a dick in this person's hat and stuff like that. Those type of videos. And when I'm watching this, it's like they talked about Hunchback of Notre Dame for like 2 seconds. Okay? For like 2 seconds, they talked about Hunchback of Notre Dame. Hunchback of Notre Dame is an animated film from Disney's more golden era of animation before CGI was like prominent. And basically this guy Frollo hates gypsies. I want to get rid of him. This gypsy had a child. For some reason, his heart was warmed. I'm going to spare this child's life. But what type of life did he really have? And then the child, which is the hunchback, befriends Esmeralda. And then Esmeralda's a gypsy. But this guy Frollo, okay? Now here's where I have to interject, okay? This guy Frollo, who was having gypsies killed, the hunchback's mom, Quasimodo. He had Quasimodo's mom killed. And then he took in the son and spared his life, etc., etc. But he has such a hard-on for killing zombies. Zombies. Look at me. I'm thinking about Xbox and PlayStation. I'm sorry. I'm looking at something else. I apologize, you guys. He has such a hard-on for killing gypsies that, he kills his kid's mom, captures the kid. Esmeralda comes into play as the kid grows up. He wants Esmeralda so bad, okay? There's a scene where he's like in his bedroom or his chambers, as they used to say him, and he sings a song. I believe it's called Hell's Fire or something like that, but she'll have me or she will burn is like the definitive line in that whole song. And it's like every time I watch a video about Disney and Disney movies and, hey, I bet you didn't know this, they never talk about this dude threatening to kill this woman because he wanted her sexually. All right? And you can say whatever you want. All right? But you watch this movie. Watch this dude. He's sniffing her little satin pieces and he wants her sexually. She'll have me or she will burn is exactly what he says. He even asks God to have mercy on both of their souls. But I'm going to kill her if she ain't down to clown. You understand what I'm saying? And real talk that happens in this movie. Please go back and watch it. Frollo is a sick puppy in this film. And then the second thing that I want to talk about as far as cartoons go, they were talking about the Lion King. And you know what? I've always interpreted, there's all this different Lion King stuff, okay? It was a straight ripoff from something back in the 60s, Simba... And not Simba. Mufasa and Scar weren't actually brothers. In the Pride, it was just easier to call them brothers. But in the Pride, they don't actually have brothers, and et cetera, et cetera. It's all this stuff about the Lion King. My interpretation of Lion King is it's always been a mafia movie. I always took the Lion King. And clearly I was wrong, as the information has come out over the last, over the decades or whatever. But the Lion King was a mafia movie to me. Come on, it's two brothers. Right? One of them wants to be head of the family, right? You got to take out the Don. The Don's got a kid. The kid is next in line. You got to take out the kid. But see, in mafia hits, they don't just kill you, right? They whack you, but then they play the psychological game, right? They'll let you go to jail for 15 years, get out, kill you then, right? See, that's what they do. So he had the little kid manipulated, right? He killed the Don. He had the little kid thinking he did it. Oh, run, I'll protect you. Then he sends his goons to kill him. The kid gets away and he's in exile. Then what's the kid do? He goes off. He's living on the beach. He's living a good life. And then somebody comes back and yo, this is where you from. You need to go back and protect your shit. And then he zips back across the desert, right? Takes out the guy, takes back the family business. It's a mafia movie. And if honestly, if they redid, and this just came to me, if they redid, and they wouldn't, but how they do revamps and shit. They should revamp The Lion King, do it like Zootopia, right? Where they all are standing up, right? They got on suits, but make it the same, right? And just call it The King. And like, it could be the same film. And that shit would be dope, son. Like, you know what I'm saying? You see Scar and the hyenas would be his henchmen. They got on little fedoras and stuff like that. Like, I'm serious. And like, Pumbaa and Timon would be like the Bohemians. You know what I mean? Like when Simba ran, so he goes to another island. He runs in these Bohemians, and they like, oh man, Kuna Matata, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then he gets back to this whole shoot 'em up lifestyle. I mean, it'd be something different. But I love, I'm sorry. But that's always been my interpretation of The Lion King. It always in my mind was a mafia movie. Yes, I love mafia movies. Of course I do. But, I guess that does make the connection. But anyway, it's always been a mafia movie to me. Second, other piece, the Pixar Theory. So here's what I always found. First of all, like I said in the beginning, I love the Pixar Theory. I find the Pixar Theory to be very fascinating with all of its different facets, and all the different things that come together to make the Pixar Theory what it is. I love the Pixar Theory and I really like how many people sit down, because it's interesting how the Pixar Theory works. Because it's a cartoon-based thing and it doesn't matter at all. But so many people come together on this Pixar Theory. Like, they take information from so many different avenues, right? And so many people, because of their love for these Pixar movies, they come together and they created this theory, which it's like they created this life and this livelihood, and I think that's awesome. That to me makes me even more intrigued into the Pixar Theory because of how it's. But anyway, because people just love it. Like, seriously, you go to all these different channels and they say, I heard from this guy, different nationalities, different backgrounds. And because of this Pixar Theory, it keeps rolling. And, that's another thing about, all of these type of fandom things. You know what I mean? Comic book nerds and Trekkies and Lucas boys and whatever you call them. You know what I mean? They all just... Unity. I like Unity. I'm a fan of it. So, my Pixar Theory, however, is different from the overall Pixar Theory. Because in my Pixar Theory, I'm not going to go through each individual movie and how it connects, because to me, all of that is sound. The only thing that changes for me is Boo. I don't believe that Boo's the architect. I honestly think it's Andy. Because the precipice for all of these things came from Toy Story. Everything that we talk about in Toy Story, and I know they created this timeline, okay? But they created that timeline. If you use what I'm about to say, you would see how it still fits. I think because everything connects back to Toy Story. When a new Toy Story movie came out, there was all these Easter eggs in those Toy Story films about the upcoming Pixar movies. Okay? So I feel like Andy, being the writer, has just created all of these worlds. And all of this just came from Andy. I think Andy's the architect. Andy's the creator. The Pixar Theory for me is that all of this is just part of what Andy's writing. It's all that he created. Like, all of these worlds exist because he thought of them. You know what I'm saying? What if a meteor passed the Earth? Andy, the writer, thought of that. Right? And that's how it came into existence. I think everything that's happening in Pixar is just all part of the fantasy. Toy Story was real. Like, Toy Story was the first one. And then everything from then, as Andy grew up, has just all been a part of what he's been writing. It's just been all a part of just him. He's created the Monsters universe and the university because he went to college. So the Monsters went to college. The story changed. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like, I just think Andy was the architect for all this, opposed to being Boo. And that's my Pixar Theory. All right, got through all that. Now, again, some of you may have heard me on the Channel 10 podcast with Sin God Superior, and you know that I'm very rough. Everything that I do is pretty much, it's still kind of new to me. So if anybody is listening and checking this out, I do thank you so very much. And I got a new thing coming. I'll be doing a lot of these podcasts and videos alone now. lucky, we'll be focusing more on the entertainment aspect, and we got a lot of good stuff coming that'll be dropping actually in the next couple weeks, like week or two, honestly. So thank you all, the 6 people that know about We Will Never Be Famous at this time, and we're definitely working to make a bigger thing. And if you have any questions, if you want to be on the show, if I say something that makes you want to respond to me, all I ever want to do is communicate. Please reach out. Let's talk. I could call you. You could be on the next We Will Never Be Famous real moment. Post it. Let your friends know. So that's it. That's all I got. This was a real moment, and I'm out.